Did you know that in an anechoic chamber, the quietest place on Earth, most people can't last more than 45 minutes before experiencing extreme psychological distress? It turns out, true emptiness might be one of the most powerful forces we rarely think about.
That's fascinating and kind of terrifying. What exactly happens to people in there?
Well, in these chambers, which absorb 99.99% of sound, people start hearing their own heartbeat, blood flowing, and even their nervous system. Scientists at Microsoft's anechoic chamber found that the absence of external noise forces our brains to create their own sensory input.
So, our minds literally can't handle complete emptiness? That's wild.
And here's what's even more interesting. At the quantum level, what we think of as empty space is actually buzzing with activity. Physicists have found that virtual particles are constantly popping in and out of existence in a vacuum.
Hmm. So, you're saying that even nothing is actually something?
Exactly. And this concept shows up everywhere. In Japanese architecture, they have this principle called the meaningful space between objects. Studies show that rooms with more empty space actually improve cognitive function by up to 30%.
That reminds me of how tech companies are embracing minimalist design. I read that websites with more white space see user engagement increase by about 20%.
Right? And it goes beyond just aesthetics. Research from the University of California showed that people in minimally decorated rooms made decisions 23% faster and with better outcomes than those in cluttered spaces.
That's making me think about our modern addiction to filling every moment with content. Like, how many times do most people check their phones each day?
The latest data shows it's about 96 times per day, roughly every 10 minutes of our waking hours. And here's what's concerning. Studies show this constant stimulation is reducing our capacity for deep thinking by up to 40%.
Well, that explains why some companies are creating tech free zones and digital sunset policies.
Exactly. And some are seeing productivity increases of up to 25% as a result. But you know what's really fascinating? Different cultures have completely different tolerances for empty space and conversation.
Oh, really? How so?
Research shows Americans typically get uncomfortable after just 4 seconds of silence, while in Nordic countries, silence up to 60 seconds is perfectly normal. Japanese business culture actually values these silent moments as signs of thoughtful consideration.
That must create some interesting dynamics in international business meetings.
It really does. Corporate consultants now report that up to 30% of cross cultural business misunderstandings stem from different interpretations of silence and space in communication.
Speaking of silence, I've heard meditation can be really challenging for beginners. Is that related to this concept?
Absolutely fascinating connection. Neuroscience research shows our brains are hardwired to seek stimulation. Meditation beginners typically last only 60 seconds before becoming uncomfortable with mental emptiness.
So, how do we start creating more empty space in our lives? It seems like we're fighting against our own biology.
Well, some innovative companies are leading the way. Google, for example, has implemented mandatory think weeks, periods of minimal digital connection that have led to some of their most breakthrough innovations.
That's really encouraging to hear. Maybe we're starting to understand the value of nothing after all.
And the implications are huge. Studies suggest that incorporating regular periods of emptiness, whether physical, digital, or mental, could improve creativity by up to 35% and reduce stress levels by nearly 28%.
It sounds like we need to completely reframe how we think about emptiness.
You're right. Instead of seeing it as an absence, we need to recognize it as a presence, a powerful force that shapes everything from quantum physics to human psychology. The research is clear. Emptiness isn't nothing. It's the foundation of everything.
That's quite a profound way to look at nothing.
And perhaps that's the key takeaway. In a world that's constantly pushing us to fill every moment, every space, every silence, sometimes the most valuable thing we can do is nothing at all.